Okay, today I'm going to show you how to repair the back bumper on an XKR X100. As you know, when you take the bumper off, you'll find the side hangers rotten. There we go. Both sides. I'll show you the other side. It's completely gone the other side. No hanger whatsoever. And you have to snap the mounts off. As you can see, gone completely rotten. When taking the bolts out, the problem is when the bolts come out, the nut rivet has come out with it. So I'm going to show you a quick repair for this first. So first of all, turn it over. These are new nuts and spacers and bolts. Okay. Now, what I've done is I've melted the nuts into where the rivet's supposed to have been. So when you tighten that up, that nut will sink in there, and the same the other side. There we go, that sinks nicely in there. That one should have set nicely in. There we go, yep, see? Sits nicely in there. So what I'm going to do is I will araldite them in around there so as they stay in there firm, and the same as that one. So when you buy the new mounts, you'll be able to bolt them up easy. Right, there's the bumper there. I've had to take the plastic rivets out so as I can get to these and take the inner mount off the bumper. It's had aftermarket reversing sensors put in, so that's why it's important to keep this. I couldn't be bothered to buy a new one, even though they're cheap enough. Right, as you can see, these are my new mounts, all ready for the bumper. Now, as you know, the inner sides hangers go rotten. I'm going to show you a quick fix on the hangers. This was my first attempt of making them, but I made a mistake because it wasn't right, and this is my second attempt. But I'm going to show you how to make these in one sec, preferably this one. It's the most easiest, and it still wants a little bit of straightening up and a couple of little dobs of welding just there. But there's the other side hanger, completely rotted away, nothing left. I presume it's something like that. So the slide mounts I couldn't get, look, snapped. So quick fix for these was these. Out of a 3D printing machine, but they're just as good. See, sunk a nut in through the back. Do the same job as what these do. So that's how easy day was to make. This is the template I made up for that bracket. As you can see, I measured it all up, took a rough guide from the other side. Oh, that's the way that comes out, like that. And I offered it up to make sure that it all fitted nicely. This is my sheet metal. Drew the template out on the sheet metal there. I'm going to cut that out with a set of tin snips and then bend them in position, and I'll show you how in a sec. As you can see, there's the plate I've just cut out. I'm just trimming the bits off of it with my pair of metal snips. It's quite an easy thing. Get in there. Okay, there's my metal sheet cut out by hand. Bit rough, I know, wants a little bit of trim up, but now ready for bending. So I'll get the bending tool out and show you how I'm going to bend it. Okay, that's my plate cut out with my tin snips. Now I'm going to start bending it in position. This is what I'm going to use. It's actually a panel clamp, a nice flat edge. So to do these little seams, that's what I'm going to do. So the first thing is get that nice and tight, bang on the line now, bend it in, and then just give it a little, a little pull down. There you go. Now what I'm going to do is I'll get a little tapping hammer and I'm going to tap along that seam there. Just give it a little bit more sharpness. There's my first bend. Look at that. There's the two bends. There we go. Look, taking shape already. See? There we go. Look at that. Don't worry about bending it all up afterwards, because you can straighten all that up after. There we go. Look at that. Taking shape. Okay, all bent into shape. I mean, they need a little bit of straightening out still in the metal block, just to give them a little tap, straighten them out. But as you can see, I've drilled the holes out. What I've done is I've made it so as it's able to slide up and down, because obviously these ain't going to be the exact measurements, so you need to have a little bit of play inside so as the nuts can slide up and down to take up whatever measurements are slightly out. Only going to be a millimetre or so out, so there's enough movement in them. So I'm going to do the same to this one, just sliding, just drill them out. I'll fold that down, put the 2 holes each side for these little slide mount things, so as they can adjust up and down. And that's a pair of rear side bumper hangers, repair bumper hangers. And there you have it, as simple as that. I'll show you the finished product once it's welded onto the car. Well, if I ain't got a welder, I can actually drill a hole in the top and drill a hole in that, put two holes in there and pop rivet them up. So, you know, they're only to hold the side of the bumper up. I'll show you where they slide in. I'll bring one along so as you can actually see what actually happens. There we go. There's the bumper, and that's it where it slides in. There we go. And that holds the bumper up.